All right, this is, like I like to say, is one of my favorite points in the evening.
So I don't have to adjust myself, microphone, I can adjust me. Louis Cuneo is our teacher this evening. He's right over here. I've known this person, I think, like 40 years, right? Something?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the 40 year thing.
Since Lean Frog.
Yeah. And we met in the course of my interest and his interest in haiku, and over the years, then we had a long period of time where we just like diverged, and then we met by accident in the Tenderloin at some kind of poetry thing, and then we got reconnected there. It's like, wow. And now we're back here. He's a beautiful, beautiful writer. Now he's going to do more than just haiku. He's going to do a range of things here. And let me just brag a bit. Now he's put this book into the door prize category. This is his latest work, and if one has a chance to go through it, you will find historical aspects to haiku, where it came from, how it evolved, the different writers that made evolutions happen. There is also passages by modern writers, haiku by modern writers, how it evolved, how it came here, what the beats did with it, and as a form. And then he gets into what goes into them, how their work, their structure a little bit. And then at the end, and now here's your lessons and how to write them. He gives references to books and things like that. So this is, if you don't know anything about haiku, this is a great place to start. Notice how compact, like this, but it's beautiful, it's really well done, and it's amazing. So I'm really glad that he brought this. I'm really glad to have him here. You're going to hear a very unique voice, a lovely voice, a man of art and compassion, a photographer, a protester, a man of social skills and awareness. Give a big round of applause for Mr. Louis Cuneo, please.
Thank you. I have a loud voice. I never need those things. It's just a small area. All right. Haiku Revisited, the second edition, is essentially, think of it as surrealist poetry as a whole, understanding the history of surrealist poetry, who did this without going to much detail that you have to find out by yourself, more detail. But you have a roadmap, who did what with surrealist poetry or whatever. In this case, it is haiku. So it's going to be a very educational and a fun book to do. So I have books here, they're going for $15, $10 off than usual. All right, I'll start off with some haiku. Next to old tree, single blade of grass flapping in autumn dusk. Rain rushing towards street, miniature flood. Through wooden fence by dirt road near the ocean, remembering it clearly. Throwing balls at bottles, he wins and tosses his coat to girlfriend. She licks the cream off the glass full of cappuccino. And all that was written back when haiku came out, the second edition in '75. This is some new work. Long haiku 80. Still remembering days at Greenwich Village so clearly. Walking past NYU to East Side after wee hours among MacDougal Street. Next piece is called Parking Lot. Tree cutter among branches, home for my friends for over 20 years. Sound of chainsaw and cutting off one fallen to tarred parking lot. And we are all doing it, no matter if we're doing it at early or later, is called aging. And this is my take on aging. Short story in haiku. Sound of stones being moved. So tired every day for months since last year. That ain't no sweat off my balls, waitress tells another in a low voice. Wanting one more life change before death, not happening. Dog barking at tennis instructor showing student how to hit the ball. Newly planted trees bent by gust of wind, foggy morning. Now loose soil with dew after historic fire. Playing soccer in park, 6-year-olds and older puppy. Been watching a light turn from red to green for 20 years. I'm a vendor, and I've been watching a light. A good thing about old age is maybe one accepts self as is. Bowling balls hitting pins on lanes, then complete silence. After leaving you, Telegraph Avenue, fire engine races past me. Watching Dustin Hoffman saving the planet in bar, sipping beer. Stop feeling as you have made a mess of your life, Cuneo. Staring at numbers displayed in post office past 9 a.m. on watch. Finally accepting no big leaps in old age. A bee flying in the middle of an old friend's wake in circles above. Take a deep breath, then move to the next moment, Cuneo.
Huh?
Wall-like fog coming slowly into town, mouth of the bay disappearing. Things are working out, Cuneo, even with your efforts to make them fail. Vendors waiting for lottery for selling spaces to begin late December. misplacing everything, double-checked steps, growing with old age. I didn't want to get too the thing about haiku, away from my own work, away from everything, haiku makes your work clearer. It gets your damn ego out of the way. Out of the way. You tell haiku is what's happening in this spot at this moment. And your ordinary mind and simplicity is the way of Zen. You have that, the projection of I is unacceptable. You see things clear. Your work, other works you do, other prose pieces will be so much clearer because you get away from your ego and you present what you want. And it's a little something about haiku. All right, I will. All right, next one. Our next piece is I'm going to be doing a non-haiku from the play on mine. I did. It's called This Chill. This is where the haiku comes in to be incorporated into another form of literature. The concepts. This chill. You know, the worst part about being in prison isn't hearing the horn for the count before each meal, being without a woman, protecting my life from the gangs every second, seeing and feeling the years pass by, shitting in the full view of everyone. It is this chill in my bones. There is no way I can get warm and dry in this womb of cement and iron. I put on long underwear and remain on the bunk, avoiding putting my feet on the cold floor. No matter what I do or don't, this dampness continues. It's no fun to have arthritis. There's only one cure: being released from this hellhole. I want to leave, but here has become acceptable. Yes, even I believe that prison is my norm. My eyes can't see past the bars. My mind needs the guards to order me. The walls are my security. The horn is Beethoven's knife. And I'm going to go back to, this is long haiku connected without being connected without saying. I wrote each individual piece and connected them into a story. It's called Seeing One Long White Line. Racing up 101 North, head and tail lights passing the other, driving through dense fog banks with brights, motorcycle roars past, silence of 2 a.m. returns. Sitting peacefully after hours of driving over coffee, framed photo of the king on the wall of the truck stop. She laughs at her man who can't start his motorcycle. Finally remembering to eat, turn off next exit. You've been to a party, a child asks another one wearing a birthday hat. Seeing one long white line through half-closed eyes, just an hour's drive left. With this intense back pain, photographs of trollers on wall on dense fog covers fishing port. Time goes slowly when you're in a small town and you're in traffic court. Series of rainstorms coming, driving up 96 passing Willow Creek, a 90-degree downhill and miles of sharp turns, approaching bend of miles wide, then banks of a Klamath River. Freshly cut firewood near front door, axe against the cabin's wall. There are carrots, tomatoes, my sister says, looking at cleared bush. She screams at her husband as he sits quietly with a beer in hand. We're hearing an unknown visitor coming on a dirt road among the redwoods. Brown bear near window as a joint being passed in the kitchen. Kitten in a pile of chestnuts in the next room. To what's your name? I have a bad memory. I really do. Always have. All right. To what's your name? It has been hard to remember your name, becoming whole with you. Can it be finding love after years being without it? Last night, still feeling our bodies as one. Early morning sun over apartment buildings' roofs, longing to be with you. Still, we just avoid real issues before your departure. Fearing of experiencing Spanish boots of Spanish leather with us. Unshaven for 3 days as she packs her clothes. Watching you disappear into mass of the departure passengers, emptiness returns. Funny, maybe able to complete an untouched manuscript. Where's mine? Here we go. I'm going to end with this one. I have always, this is not my story. It's somebody else's. Father's shrinking image. I'm stopping off to see my father in Glendale. The very first time was just 6 months ago. I have kept it from you intentionally. In fact, no one knows, including Mother, Barry, or Susan. I began from Lolita, not picking up any hitchhiker for conversation or company. There was his address taped to the visor and written in a magic marker, just stared at me as the miles were adding up. I was reliving the last few years of searching for his home and most of my life being without a father. to talk with. There was this constant flip-flop in my heart and mind. One side told me to face him for my own sanity and happiness. The other said, no, it's over. I stood at the door and got so angry with myself for coming here. I remembered so clearly how he just left us without a word or a note. My hand ringing the bell. The time felt like an eternity. What a surprise, he said in a shocked voice. I'm just passing through, I casually responded. We sat at the kitchen table just looking into each other's eyes while we ate sandwiches that he made for us. How are you doing? I asked him. I wanted to break this silence between us. He answered me with a cold okay. Where is your family? I inquired from him. At the movies, he responded awkwardly. My eyes glanced at the photo of his oldest son's wedding in a gold frame. Really? All the frustrations and insecurities in me were acting like an erupting volcano. I almost lost my cool a few times. I almost went up to my father, pleading with him with arms extended. Let's forget the past. I love you. I stood up and told him, Alan, thanks for the food. I still have a long drive left. There was no response. After I put on my coat, he put his hand on my shoulder lightly and said to me with a guarded and inviting voice, it's good to see you. You should have been inside of me. I felt so warm and full, but I didn't respond while facing the opposite direction, holding back the flood. We walked in silence to my van after arriving at the driver's side. He gave me a quick half a hug and said, have a safe trip, son. The tears began to show and I didn't let him see them. My reply was nothing. Then I got into the front seat and closed the door. I kept my face hidden from him and didn't even look to my left before entering the flow. The van moved forward as I took a peek in the rear view mirror at my father's shrinking image. Thank you.
Oh. In the studio.
Thank you very much.
Wow. All right. I told you.
So let me just do this very quickly. After the break, we have Philip Zimmerman, Clara Sue, looks like Arlen, Arden.
Let me just get my glasses on here. Hold on a second. I should have these on there.
Well, yeah, Arden, A-R-D-E-N. Then Gareth and Greg, Karen Melander, then Hal, and then Buford. And if you haven't signed up and want to, there are spaces here for that. And next week, just so you know, we have Ryan Austin Dennis. Some of you might remember him from a while back, a very wonderful poet. And after that, Serial Muse on the 22nd, a duet of women that I've seen on the web, and they contacted me, and they're very cool, so that's going to be here. And then on the 1st, Evelyn Poseman here, and she's been here a couple of times, so that's going to be good. We have a good second half and more things to come, so please, Schmooze, talk to this man about the books, and then we'll get back. And that thing will be off, so you don't have to worry about being captured inadvertently. Thank you.
Pablo, yeah, Neruda.